Hello beautiful souls and welcome to this week's video. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Today I have a question for you and it's one that could change your life if you let it. The question is, what if you made the commitment today to fall in love with yourself? What would change in your life if you were able to fall in love with yourself wholly, deeply, completely? And not just the fluffy self-love that we see with the buying the self-flowers and the running the bubble bath and booking a Reiki session. The self-love that means you addressing all of you. So how I help people and how I came to transform my own life was through this self-discovery journey and learning who I was on a deeper level. When I began to learn who I was on a deeper level, like from my own, like understanding my ego, understanding my personality, understanding my shadow, and then going deeper and questioning who am I in truth, connecting to the truth of who I am. That began my transformation journey, and I see it in everybody else that I work with and friends and people in my life who have also been through a spiritual awakening. It all starts with being curious. Starts with being curious about who you are, and generally after a period of difficulty, a period where you think something has to change, something in my life has to change, and the only thing that is ever going to change your life is by you falling in love with yourself. Now you might be listening to this going, but that's an impossible task, because how am I supposed to love myself? Well, and it's not a quick overnight fix. It doesn't work like that because we're very, very complex beings underneath the surface. But you simply taking action to begin to fall in love with yourself is one of the biggest acts of self-love you can possibly make. So you can move from this place of not enjoying your life, knowing that something needs to change, knowing that you need to transform, facing kind of resistance wherever you are, into, perhaps there's some self-hatred, perhaps there's some, I don't really like that about myself. Perhaps you see in a lot of triggers in the external world that make you not like the external world. Maybe you just want to spend all of your time on your own. That's a complex one, because what you're actually seeing is reflections of you externally. So once you begin on this journey, you then get to face the external world and what you don't like about yourself that shows up in the external world. But also this place of constant distraction, forgetting all of that. Constant distraction, either through drinking too much, eating too much, scrolling through your phone. It's like this, or spending too much time with friends and not enough time on your own. Too much time working, too much time exercising, too much time working on yourself, but never actually getting to know yourself. You're just distracting yourself from yourself. What if you could go from any of these places, wherever you are, but knowing that you don't really love your life every day when you wake up, you don't really love yourself every day when you wake up? What if you could shift from that to a place of waking up with a smile on your face, going to sleep feeling so fulfilled, loving spending time with yourself, loving exploring what's going on, and seeing your life as a scavenger hunt to get to the bottom of who you are and why you're here? Your life can change dramatically by making the commitment to fall in love with yourself. And it doesn't mean that you have to be gushy, looking in the mirror, because again, some people think, oh, but falling in love with myself means that I'm going to be egotistical, overly confident, arrogant. No, we got some shadow work to do in there. Actually, what falling in love with yourself, it means is it starts with acceptance. It starts with accepting who you are, accepting your flaws, accepting that you're actually pretty incredible, and being curious about what else lies beneath the surface. What has shaped you? What is there to love and to heal? What is there to transmute? What are you seeing externally that's a reflection of you? Maybe that arrogance in another person does trigger you, and maybe actually it's asking you to find some of your own self-confidence. And what if all of this could lead to not that confidence that you are you're better than anybody else and you're showing up with this bravado, fake it till you make it, I used to be there, fake it, but actually a knowing that I am worthy and deserving of being here just because I was born. I am a miracle just because I was born into this human reality. What if you could live your life from a place of that, from there? How magical and inspiring is that? Not just to yourself, to like the younger versions of you and to the future versions of you, but also to people around you. Like, you falling in love with yourself has the capacity to change the world. No pressure, but it just starts with this simple kind of curiosity of what's going on and what you're here to learn. And it is so profound. When you begin on this journey, you're sending out a massive message to the universe, to your higher self, to God, to consciousness, to say, okay, I'm ready to level up. I am ready to follow my path of Dharma. I am ready to learn about the world, the truths of reality, the truth of nature. I am ready to be here as my fullest expression. And the universe meets you in that. It then begins the scavenger hunt. It kind of like sets off a trigger, and you might be sent a challenge, or you might be sent a magnificent opportunity in alignment to where you need to go. This is where it's really important to be connected to yourself and to be able to listen to your intuitive whispers, because you're then able to follow the scavenger hunt, follow the path, and know that even if it feels a little bit scary, you're on the right path, and that you know that this is guidance for you. And it just sends you on this kind of magical mystery hunt of life, and where you get to discover more about yourself and more about what you're here to do, your purpose. You're effectively following your North Star, which you're connected to because of this connection to your heart, to yourself, to falling in love with who you are and why you're here and the life that you get to live. It has a massive ripple effect throughout your life, therefore throughout the world, throughout the whole of consciousness. And on this journey, you then change internally. On this journey of self-love, self-discovery, discovery of the world, you then shift internally, which shows up externally. So you change internally, you change energetically. You move through your energetic centers and awaken. You move through the kind of root, the basic needs, the sacral, which is your relationships, your solar plexus, which is your will, your power, your outside world, why you're here, into your heart, and you transcend the energy centers. You purify kind of your karma and what's here for you, and you shift cellularly. You go from that place of fear to love, and the second you step into, you're becoming aligned with the truth of who you are. And then you see the kind of magic and the miracles and the opportunities reflected back to you. The perfect home turns up, the perfect man turns up, the perfect job opportunity, the perfect clients. All of these incredible things then show up for you. And you may also be sent challenges because you get to overcome them and learn something else about yourself. If you're being sent the same challenges over and over again, like they have kind of a similar theme, then you're still rejecting something about yourself. So it's important to kind of look at the patterns of what's going on, like maybe write them down, look at the patterns, what's the similar theme, and then what's the similar theme, and what am I rejecting in this experience? What am I judging in this experience? And how can I accept this experience? So it could be in your money, it could be in your relationships. What do you need to learn? What do you need to accept and to love? most people kind of start on this journey because they want to change their life, they want to change the external. So they chase the external, they chase the things, they chase the new job opportunity, they chase the new relationship because the last one didn't work. But all you're going to do is, until you've done like a lot of this work and began to and try to fall in love with yourself, not just by rearranging the furniture of the ego, but going deep within your psyche, deep within your soul, whatever you're just trying to change the external, nothing is really going to change. You're just going to be sent the same things. You're just going to be as unfulfilled. You're just going to keep on wanting to change the external, basically, which is why you're called to go internally, which is why you're called to go so deep. And you know, this work isn't for the light. It's not something to be taken on lightly. It isn't for the faint of heart. But if you're watching this video and maybe you're already on the journey, maybe you've already kind of been through a spiritual awakening or dark night of the soul, and you've already been asked to go deep within yourself, like, keep going, because the juice is worth the squeeze of just whether you get the external things or not. It's the internal love and fulfillment and acting from a place of truth, connecting to your spiritual self, the self beyond I. That's magic, that's power. So I encourage you to keep going. And if you're interested about how you can go a little bit further, maybe into shadow work, I have some videos that you can watch. I'll put one up here for you. If you're in meditation, it's the most profound way, in my opinion, that you can get to know yourself in the silence, when the thoughts are trying to distract you, when your rumbling tummy is trying to distract you. Sitting in silence and focusing on your breath is one of the most profound ways that you get to know who you are in truth. And there are many meditation practices that can also help you, like self-inquiry with the question, who am I? Or mantra meditation to help you understand God. There are so many different types of meditation, but I recommend everybody having a silent practice. Other ways are energy work, so Kundalini activation, Kundalini yoga, working with your life force energy will help you to purify your energy centers, to purify your mind, your life, your karma, so that you can, anything that's not aligned will sort of fall away, and you'll be asked to go on the hero's journey and face the challenges to overcome them and clear your energetic centers so that you can come to reside in the heart. Obviously, journaling is really profound to getting to know yourself. Like, one of my favorite questions, especially at the moment, is what does my higher self want me to know? Another place to look where most people don't really, we wake up in the morning and go, what was that dream? But dream work is really profound. It's your dreams, symbols, are your subconscious mind trying to communicate with you. So what are you being told through your subconscious? Like, what messages do you keep seeing in your dreams? Now, know that dreams are never literal, they're always symbolic. It works in metaphor and vision. So it is a game of interpretation. So if you're dreaming about your ex, for instance, it's not your ex, it's the inner masculine, it's potentially the inner masculine or feminine that's asking to be seen and repair a wound or something with that. I have a video on dream work here. And then also things like connecting to these archetypal figures, like the inner masculine or feminine, or your higher self, the sage, or even God within your psyche, going into what's called active imagination. If you want to work with a particular energy, for instance, say the energy of wealth and beauty, so you could work with the goddess Lakshmi, and she's the goddess of wealth, beauty, prosperity, success. If you wanted to embrace that, embody that, you could go and meet her in active imagination and talk to her and receive gifts from her. I have a video for that here, but then there's also one that you can do with money. If you're having money struggles, go and chat to money and see what it's got for you. Understanding that everything is an energy, everything has an energy. So you can work with those energies, talk to those energies, and what do they need from you? This is all profound self-discovery. It is all incredible. for helping you to transform yourself, transform your life, but most importantly, falling in love with yourself, falling in love with the truth of who you are. It is why you're here. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you want to take it further and understand maybe what your North Star is, begin the journey that way, begin the journey to fall in love with yourself that way, then you can download your North Star Discovery Kit in the description below. If you're interested in joining an incredible community of like-minded souls, wild spirits who are also on this journey of falling in love with themselves, I have a beautiful community that we meditate together once a week. We have incredible ceremonies and events, and we come together like a sangha to just share the journey, share the love. You can join the Lotus again through the link below. I hope you've enjoyed this. Hit the thumbs up button if you have to let me know you've watched, especially if you're still here, and leave a comment if you have any questions or any struggles with the idea of falling in love with yourself and making that commitment. I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next week.